Yo, once again, it's on. Back at you one more again, Real Kens TV and the House Like Kitchen Sinks. Now, before we get into today's story, if you will, y'all jump in the comment section. Let me know where you're chiming in from. I'm in Lexington, Kentucky. Let me know your city, your state, your hood, your set, whatever it may be that you're representing, and let us know if you're the man or the woman that you say you be. Now, before I actually get into the story, I want to give y'all a brief, I don't know, you know how I like to paint the picture for my stories. Someone sent me this story at Real Kens TV, yahoo.com, Real Kens TV, yahoo.com. And it really, really resonated, hit home. As I mentioned, I'm going to paint the picture for you before actually getting into the actual story, because this is very, very important. I'm at work, working the drive-through this particular day. And usually I'm out on a delivery, but when it's slow or, if they need help around the store, I'll jump in a drive-through, or, sometimes I'll jump on the oven or whatever. But whatever the case may be, a young lady comes through the drive-through. She has 2 kids in the back seat. They laughing and joking or whatever. I'm taking her order. Actually, she was picking up the order. I told her to be about another minute. She just wanted to hang tight, and I'll be able to, get her order. So we begin to, kind of conversate. Like I said, I'm laughing and joking with the kids, and they're all excited. They're about to get pizza and, things of that nature. And I said, I made that pizza, right? She was like, oh, really? I said, yeah, man. It's a special recipe that I got when I was out in Peru. I literally went to Peru to get specialized training or whatever, and I came back. So, let me know how it tastes. I said, matter of fact, I'm going to hit you up in about an hour or so, and you let me know how it tastes. So she's like, you do that? I was like, I'm for real. She was like, well, don't you need my number? I said, your number's right here. If this is the correct number. The number was like on the order or whatever. So she gives me permission. She's like, okay, make sure you do that. No problem. I'm not thinking anything of it, man. Y'all rock with me. Come on, kids, get to the story, man. We don't want to hear about what happened when you was at work. Get to the story. This is part of the story. If you prefer your 8 to 12 to 15 minute videos, absolutely nothing wrong with that whatsoever. But at Real Kens TV, it's 30 minutes or better. So with all that being said, with all that being wrapped up into one big old nutshell, that is, pause, double pause, there is a message. So just kick back. A couple hours go past, 3 hours maybe, and I remember, I'm like, oh man, I'm supposed to hit old girl up. Act like she was interested. So I hit up. Hit on the text. How did everything, was the pizza good? How did everything taste? I didn't hear anything for about 20 minutes or so. I get a text back, and it said, who is this? I'm like, this is, the pizza dude at, the pizza place or whatever. Told you I was going to hit you up and, check on the how everything tasted. Didn't hear anything back. Not thinking anything of it. So I'm in the store and I'm doing something. It was close to me. It was probably about 10:30. I'm scheduled to get off at about 11. It's about 10:30. I'm in the back of the store. So my back is turned, like my back is away from the door when you first walk in the store. I heard somebody come in and say, man, who's Real Kens? They said it in a tone of, I knew that it wasn't going to be the best of situations, to say the least. Who was Real Kens? So I turn around. You Real Kens? Now they behind the counter. I'm like, who wants to know? He was like, I'm going to tell you something, MF. Now there's 2 dudes that walk in, but it's only one dude talking. I'm going to tell you something, MF. If you ever, he's screaming at the top of his lungs, call my wife's phone. I don't even remember what he said after that. It was probably some weak ass threat. I'm going to do this to you. So I'm looking at him. I'm like, called your wife's phone? Man, I ain't called nobody's phone. Who's your wife? So he gets to breaking it down. Man, you text my wife. She came through here to get some food for our family. You text my wife and asked her, how did the pizza taste? She's a married woman, and that was very, very inappropriate. I didn't even go through the whole, man, she told me to text her. She gave me the phone number. Basically, I ain't even go through that. So I'm like, okay, you one of them type dudes. In my mind, I'm thinking, okay, you one of them type dudes. You got your wife's phone. You insecure. You don't trust your wife. We've been together 15 years. We ain't never had a problem. We ain't going to start now. Dude's a black dude. Probably, he ain't quite 5'11". He's about 5'10". Caramel complected dude. If I had to guess, he was probably early. I don't know. They've been married 15 years. He's probably 35, 36. Arms tatted up. He was kind of stocky. I don't know. He probably weighed about 215, something like that, 220. And the dude that was with him, he looked like motherfucking Blade or somebody. You know what I mean? Dark-skinned dude. He's about 5'11". Look dead on Blade. But he seemed like he was kind of just chilling. He wasn't saying anything. So the dude was just running it. I'm like, all right, man. Managers looking at me crazy. A couple customers in the store. I'm like, all right, man. You right. My bad. I know I'm right. And he just keeps running it. Like, you ever had a situation with a person and you're really trying to resolve it or just let it go? My bad, bro. I ain't even. But a person will take your kindness for weakness. Take you for, being soft or whatever. Like I said, he's yelling and screaming or whatever. So they end up going outside. When they go outside, my manager, he's talking to him or whatever. Still trying to calm the situation down. I walk outside just as well. I don't know. I guess it was just that inner man in me. Hold on. That's an infinite pause. That inner man in me. Matter of fact, pause don't even work right there. Let's rewind that. It was that inner. I don't know. I ain't like the way it didn't sit well the way that he talked to me. So I had to step outside and I had to let him know, bro. Even though I ain't say anything when I walked outside. The mere fact of me walking outside will let him know, and that probably wasn't the best of decisions to make. But my frame of mind at the time, okay, me walking outside, let you know, man, I ain't nobody scared of you, man. Come up in there, screaming, hollering, and yelling or whatever. So I'm outside. Dude was like, what you want it? What you want it? I'm like, man, it is what it is, man. Whatever you want to do. So at this point, Blade, I'm refer to the other dude as Blade, he's trying to calm the situation down, but he's talking to dude. He's like, look, man, I got him, man. Dude already apologized, man. Let it go. Now, looking back in hindsight, I'm quite sure that dude probably had something on him. You see what I'm saying? Ain't nobody gonna he don't know anything about me. He don't have a clue who I am. So therefore, to have that much confidence in yourself to come in there talking crazy to me, I'm quite sure that you had something on you. So dude, like I said, Blade is telling him, come on, man, it's over with, man. Dude is. So he's yelling, he's screaming or whatever. So I'm just like, look, bro, why you doing? My manager's trying to tell me to go inside. Go inside, man. Fuck you, man. You talking to, man? You ain't no correctional officer, man. Tell me to go inside, man. I'm out here. We out here. So I'm outside. Ain't really a whole lot of lip locking, wrestling or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Dude's on one side, I'm on the other side. I'm already, in my mind, if he gets anywhere remotely close to me, man, I'm taking off on him, man. I'm going to hit him with I already knew what I was going to hit him with. So, finally, the dude kind of calms down, just like, boom, something snapped, like he calms down. He's like, look, man, only thing I'm saying is you can't just be going around and hollering at people's wives. I don't want you to lose your job. He's talking to my manager. I don't want him to lose his job. I just had to come up here and rightfully, defend and claim what's mine. Maybe he needs some therapy or some counseling or something like that. Now, all the while, your wife done told me, I didn't even know that she was married. She done gave me permission to, call her, text her, whatever. Again, I ain't saying nothing about that. So I'm like, man, I respected that. I reached out to shake his hand. Dude, he didn't want to shake my hand or whatever. So, now I'm looking at him because you done left me hanging like, I'm like, man, I should bust your ass, man. You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm thinking in my mind. But eventually the situation, it died down or whatever. They got in the car and they left. No police was called. There was no, I didn't get fired or anything. But it's crazy when you think about how an individual feels and to what extent an individual will go to for his significant other especially his wife. That could have got real ugly over something that I wasn't at fault. I have no problem admitting when I'm wrong, but I was not at fault whatsoever in this particular situation. But just think if dude came up there and he had that thing on him and he used it, all because I texted his wife, man. Text his wife not even knowing. And so when I looked at this story that I was sent, like I've already mentioned, it really hit home. You got a young man named Marco. Actually, Marcellis. Marcellis, 27, 28 years old. And he was a pizza delivery driver. Delivered pizza, part-time during the day, then went to school at night. And, just a person trying to get ahead in life. Delivering pizza just happened to be his job. Y'all rock with me. There was a young lady named Janelle, and she would often order pizza from this establishment. Well, one day when she ordered her pizza, Marcellis was the driver, the delivery driver. She liked what she saw. But instead of approaching him or getting his phone number or letting it be known, she would often order pizza. Or she would order pizza more often, rather. Got to the point to where she started to request Marcellis. I just feel comfortable with Marcellis. He's always so polite and mannerable. I just, feel more, most comfortable with him delivering my pizzas. After several times of delivering the pizzas, conversations got a little longer and longer. It got a little bit more intense. Numbers were exchanged. And the two of them began to have conversations on a regular basis. Now, Janelle was married to an individual named Marco. Marco was a truck driver. And he wasn't a truck driver that's like driving all over the country. Like he might be gone for a day or two, then he's back. He's out on the road, man, dropping them loads, man, dropping big loads. Shout out to all my truck drivers that's out there dropping them loads on them. She would often get lonely, even though he was only gone for a day or two. And the thought of Marcellis just stayed in her mind consistently. Got to the point to where she would call and order a pizza. Marcellis would come in and, 15, 20 minutes, they have a quickie and then, boom, he's gone back to work. It started to happen on a regular basis. The husband, Marco, ended up catching wind of how often she was ordering these pizzas. You're ordering pizza so much. Calling, you're not answering the phone, you're acting different. You didn't quite know what was going on, but he knew that something just wasn't right. Fellas, we know when something's not right with our women. We know when she's not caring anymore or acting like she don't care. When she's not fussing anymore. Not to say that all women fuss, but I'm just saying, like, if you have one that always has something to say or has a problem typically with X, Y, and Z, now she's not saying anything anymore. Typically, there's something going on, in my opinion. I'm going to get to the bottom of this, man. I don't know who it is, but I got a feeling that my wife is fooling with somebody else, man. Marco's far from slow. He goes and purchases some surveillance, hidden surveillance, puts it throughout the house. It even got to the point to where he would stay gone all night sometimes, and he would tell his wife, "Hey, baby, I got a overnight trip or whatever. I'll be back tomorrow." He's at a local hotel somewhere, posted up, and he has his laptop. Somehow he's able to look in, the hidden cameras or whatever, and see exactly what's going on throughout the house. I guess his inclination, that feeling that he had, that gut feeling, didn't lie to him. Seen several occasions of this pizza delivery driver in which he didn't know his name initially. Pizza delivery driver coming to his house. He's coming to the house. He's not just dropping off a pizza. Nah, he's staying in the house for, like I said, 15, 20, 30 minutes, an hour. If Janelle thought that her husband was out of town, then she would have Marcellis come over like at nighttime or maybe in the morning time or just whenever the case may be, because after all, her husband was out of town. He's looking at this. He can't believe it. Their marriage didn't have any major problems. They didn't have any major issues outside of the normal. We all gonna have some issues and some problems in a relationship, in a marriage, or a friendship, whatever. You're gonna bump heads, but it wasn't anything that a wife should be cheating on me over. It's not like I'm gone for a week, 2 weeks at a time. I'm gone for one night, maybe two, and it's rare that I'm gone for 2 nights. You cheating on me? This is the thanks that I get, man. It was very, very difficult for him not to say anything, but he waited. He remained calm. Got to the point to where he decided, you know what? Enough is enough. I got to confront my wife, man. I have to confront my wife about this, because this is not something that I'm going to allow to continue to go on. He confronts her about it. She has no clue about the hidden surveillance. Of course, she denies it. I don't know what you're talking about. See, that's the problem in our marriage. You don't trust me. You don't believe me. I told you I would never cheat on you. Just because I order pizza, I like pizza. She goes through all of those things. Marco's just sitting there. Oh, yeah? Okay. Well, how you explain this then? Breaks it out, shows her. Surveillance. Her and the dude. Freaking. You recording me? The first thing she said. She didn't say, oh, baby, I'm sorry. How could you record me? You know how, like on cheaters, when they get busted or whatever. You followed me? Wow. So she goes through that after blatantly denying it for so long. Marco insists, tell me who this dude is, man. I obviously know where he works at, but who is he? She says his name. His name is Marcellis. And we didn't do anything. We was just talking. But you were always gone, and I just needed somebody to talk to, and Marco wasn't trying to hear none of that. He pulls out his piece and he pops her. One shot. Headshot. After that, he leaves the apartment complex. He's headed to the pizza place. He's looking for Marcellis. After all, Marcellis is the one that caused this whole situation, this whole rift in our marriage. Walks into the pizza store just like them 2 dudes walked in on me. You Marcellis? Who wants to know? Yeah, you Marcellis. Don't really say too much after that. Let me holler at you outside, bro. I need to talk to you. Marcellis was already walking out on a delivery anyway. So the dude went, Marco had already walked like he was in front of Marcellis. Marcellis gets outside. Marco turns around. Pops him 4 times. Broad daylight right there in front of the pizza store. No mask, no nothing on. 4 times in the chest. All the people in the store, they're scared. Rightfully so. Screaming, hollering, yelling. They're hiding. Once they see that Marco drives off, they call 911, police, whatever, come, the ambulance. But it was too late. Marco had already fled the scene and Marcellis was already gone. They seen what color vehicle that this individual got in and drove off in, but they didn't know exactly who it was. Obviously, they were going to do their due diligence, do their research or whatever. They found out who he is, where he lives at. They go to his house. They go to his house, knocking on the door. Ain't nobody answering the door. They're about to leave, and there's a neighbor, and she said, I don't mean to interfere with you all's, investigation or whatever, but I don't know what's going on. But what I do know is I heard a whole lot of yelling and screaming earlier this morning, and I heard a loud sound, but I never heard anything else after that. Well, man, why didn't you call the cops? Well, it wasn't uncommon for them two to be yelling and screaming and hollering at each other, so it really wasn't anything out of the norm, and it wouldn't even happen on a regular basis. I guess this gave police probable cause when they said, when the neighbor said that she heard a loud noise. I guess police had probable cause. They kicked the door in to go inside. That's when they discovered that Janelle's body was, laying on the ground or whatever. She too was unalive. Now we're looking at an individual that unalived his wife and went to the store and unalived Marcellis, the pizza delivery driver. They're looking for him. They can't find him anywhere. About a week later, they discovered the vehicle that he was driving. It's like a gray sedan. This fool was hiding out at a motel. They find out what room he's in. They're able to go in, make the arrest. No problems. He didn't get the police any problems. He got the same weapon that he used to unalive these two individuals right there on the nightstand. So it's not one of those things where he was trying to hide or whatever. He agrees, he waives his rights or whatever. He agrees to talk to the police. He tells the police that he acted out of anger. He found out about his wife cheating with this dude. In a moment of rage, he just reacted. And then when he went to the store to confront Marcellis, he never meant to hurt him. This is what he's telling the police. I just wanted to confront him and let him know. But when I got there and I seen the guy and I just blacked out and I ended up shooting him. This is the story that he's going with. Active passion. See, there are certain defenses that you can use. And this is not trying to tell anybody how to get away with doing something to someone. I'm just merely stating the facts. But there are defenses that you can use. But usually it's if you catch that person right there in the act and you just acted just like that and you wasn't thinking at the time, or, crimes of passion and, things like that. But this is something that the police had, upon investigating, determined that this was planned. You was going to the gun range. It was a couple weeks before. You had Googled your search engines, how to get away with double homicides. You was taking money out of the ATM machine instead of taking it all out at once. It was like you was just pulling out money daily, $100, $200. I guess you knew you was ultimately going to go on the run, so you needed to have some cash, but you didn't want to make it look too, suspicious or whatever. So you can erase anything you want to erase out of your phone. But when them people get your phone, guess what? They can pull anything that you erase back up. Nah, this was premeditated. You planned this. Obviously, the prosecution, they want to throw the book at him. They don't have no remorse, no empathy, no sympathy, no nothing. Not to say that he needed any in this case, but it wouldn't matter what the charges are. Often discuss how prosecution, man, they're not. It takes a special type of slime bucket, slime ball to be a prosecutor, because they don't care about anything but their convictions. Y'all rock with me. Obviously, he's immediately arrested. He goes to trial with it. No plea deals or anything offered. And the inevitable happens. He goes to trial and the people give him life sentence. Conviction. 2 bodies. You know, reflecting, thinking back, that easily could have been me. Now, the situations were different. Marcellis, quite sure that he knew that Janelle was married. And you going into another man's house with his wife, that's the ultimate disrespect. That's the ultimate, crossing of the lines. Like, there's certain things you just don't do. But I had no clue that this individual was coming into the store. You see, when I pieced it all together, he knew exactly who I was because they were already in the parking lot when I pulled back into the parking lot because I just came back from a delivery. They already knew who I was anyway. To have somebody watching you that has a problem with you and you don't even have a clue. You don't have a clue in the world. I often think about Blade, and it turns out that Blade ended up being the girl's sister. So Blade was the dude's brother-in-law. Often wondered and thought about if Blade hadn't have been there, would that dude have unalived me or tried to unalive me? Didn't show me anything, but I'm quite sure that he had something. Everybody's not playing with a full deck out here. You don't have to go to penitentiary to run across people that are crazy or people that are tough or people. You don't have to do it. There's people of all calibers on this earth. He did a whole lot of woofing. He did a whole lot of talking. And I'm thankful. I'm thankful that he didn't take things to the next level because he really, really could have. Because all he knew was, you got this phone number off of our order and contacted my wife, man. And I love her to the fullest. But you're not even knowing that while I did get your phone number off the order, I made it known to your wife, like, it's your number right here. Okay, cool, I'm gonna hit you up. Now, while I was trying to be flirtatious, I didn't know she was married. She never took the time to tell me she was married. Perhaps I should have asked. What could I have done better? See, a lot of times when I look at myself, accountability, what could I have done better? Maybe I should have looked a little harder to see if she had a ring on. I didn't even look. Perhaps I should have said, do you have a boyfriend? Do you have a husband? Do you? But I didn't do those things. And the smallest things, see, slip-ups count. Slippers count. And the smallest of things can cost you your life. Unfortunately for Marcellis, he didn't have a chance to... he didn't even have a chance. I'm not sure I would have walked outside, but guess what? I walked outside. Think about that. If I'm Marcellis, I'm not sure if I would have walked outside. But under similar circumstances, I walked outside. Why? Because I got to show this dude I ain't no punk. Plus, I don't like the way he talked to me. We can get down, we can throw. But ain't nobody fighting these days, man. You messing with a dude's wife, man. That's something that's, and I used to do those things back in the day. When I was younger, man, I messed with married women. Didn't think nothing of it. But when I got older, I set aside the childish things that I used to do and said, nah, man, I can't do that. A lot of these women out here, man, they trifling. Dude's on the road. Dude works all the time. She's lonely at home. She's not feeling heard. That's why I talk about if your wife works at a penitentiary, your girlfriend works at a penitentiary or a jail, man, be mindful. Better pay attention. Because you got some gorillas in there, man. Lions, tigers, and bears, man. All they have to do is to sit around and just think about your wife. How am I going to get her? Looking at her demeanor every day. Is she smiling? Is she laughing? Is she sad? You've been working out for 12 years straight. You ain't number 29, 30, 31, 32. Ain't had no drugs, no alcohol in your system. 12-pack. Cut up everywhere. Don't think that women don't see that. Because they do. They definitely do. The bearer of responsibility, the significance or the relation to these two stories, other than the fact that we were both delivery drivers, is that the women, they caused this. What she should have said with me was, no, I'm sorry, I'm thank you, but I'm happily married. It would have been into that. Janelle, R.I.P. Janelle, what she should have done is just kept it professional and never called up to the store requesting this individual to be the driver of her pizza. Coming to the door with negligee on, and come on, man. Knowing that you married. And at the end of the day, look who suffered, man. If you out there and you messing with somebody's significant other, or they, wife or husband, whatever, just understand that the same way when I walked into that store and I had no clue that them dudes, just think if them dudes was gorillas, man. Headhunters. Waiting on me. And I don't have a clue. I could have got ambushed. The same way Marcellis got ambushed. Understand that people may be watching, investigating. They done hired private investigators or whatever. And you don't even have a clue, man. Do the right thing simply because it's the right thing to do. For y'all that don't know, Thanksgiving is getting closer and closer. Doing a food drive. Actually, it's a food handout. Got the bag lunches. Couldn't do the turkeys and the hams and the macaroni and cheese and stuffings and dressings and, all the things that people typically eat for Thanksgiving. Maybe next year I'll be able to do so. People been donating. $ Kens, KENZ 1000. $ Kens, KENZ 1000. It's my cash app. Y'all hit me up. I've been getting donations. Getting the food next week. We're going to record it. Trying to do a minimum of 200 lunches. A couple sandwiches in each bag. Stuff costs, though. You got to buy the bags. You got to buy the baggies. 2 sandwiches. Get the little condiment packages or whatever. Mayonnaise, mustard, cheese, a couple bags of chips, some sort of dessert, cakes or whatever, fruit, waters, sodas. We're just going to ride through on Thanksgiving, man. Just handing bags out, man. May not be a lot, but guess what? It's something. And people really, really appreciate. Maybe that's the push that they need to you know what? Somebody does care. A complete stranger came up to me and gave me this. Maybe somebody does care. For Christmas, there's a jail that I have in mind that I was at one point. It's about 50 inmates. Take pizzas up there. 2-liter. I'm all for the people, man. I'm all about trying to make a difference. No donation is too big and none is too small. $ KENZ 1000. $ KENZ 1000. And maybe we can all come together and make a difference, man. Real Kens TV. Hopefully you like the video. Feel free to comment. Definitely share. Subscribe to the channel. If you're not already subscribed, then be sure to hit that post notification. So anytime I bring you this action and this heat, guess what? You're amongst the first to receive. Real Kens TV.